So now we've come to the stage where we're looking to hire an expert. And as we discussed before, the insanity defense is an affirmative defense, meaning that it is the defense's burden to prove it by a preponderance of evidence. We've already talked about information gathering. Let's talk now about what should you consider in retaining an expert.
Well, I think you want to consider a number of factors. And I always think whether in these types of cases or any case, the retention of an expert is critical, right? Because he or she is going to be your advocate for pursuing this defense and what you're referencing to an insanity offense. So I want someone someone who's board certified in forensic psychiatry, someone who's been qualified as an expert in the state of New Jersey before, and maybe even the county specifically in which the case is venued. I also want to do my homework on my expert because I want to know that they can testify well, that they'll hold up well on cross-examination, and that there's nothing in their background that where they've been deemed not credible, or someone who's questioned their judgment, or someone who's not credentialed them to be an expert in a specific area. And across a multitude of mental health issues, have they tackled, for example, paranoid schizophrenia? Have they rendered an opinion declaring someone not guilty by reason of insanity for having this specific illness? Because you have to put your finger on what the state may be coming at them with on cross-examination and be prepared for that.
Yeah. And as part of the retention process, you would have the expert interview your client. At what stage would it be appropriate to conduct that examination?
Well, I think once you probably clear competency first, as we talked about previously, I would leave it a little bit to the expert on when they think the right timing should be, because you want to make sure they clear the psychosis first, because a lot of times the individual who has been charged is still laboring under the psychosis, though, and then you got to get them to clear competency first before that evaluation done. I would also insist, and I think all good experts do this, have them evaluated over multiple days. So you don't chalk up one thing to a good day or a bad day, and they see them on multiple occasions.
Also, would you provide the expert with all the discovery, other mental health records that you've obtained? For example, if your client is detained at the time, would you obtain the records from that facility as well and provide everything to the expert as part of the evaluation process?
Absolutely. And you know this because we've done this before. You don't want to have your expert subject to cross on examination on things he or she has not seen. You want to make sure that she's seen or he's seen all of the records from a jail, from the jail, if he was there, from all mental hospitals, all previous treatment providers. So they're looking at the full spectrum in addition to those critical interviews.